Hello everybody and welcome to another video where today I am bringing you yet another deck profile. Now last week I brought you my Union deck, the week before that my Blue Eyes deck, and the week before that my Galaxy Eyes deck, and this week we are doing my Cyber Dragon deck. Once again, this is one mainly for fun, so it's not ultra competitive, but it does have a few competitive elements to it, and it does do quite well when I play against my friends in college. So to start with, we have the obvious set of 3 Cyber Dragons. Now, these are mainly the heart of the deck, as it is a Cyber Dragon deck, so, well, what are you going to do about it? To follow that, we have our 3 Cyber Dragon cores. Now, these function as other Cyber Dragons, and their abilities help with adding Cyber Repair Plant to the hand, and its name is obviously Cyber Dragon when it's on the field, so it can help with certain of the fusions. Now, an idea that I got from watching Yugi No-No's videos, where he spoke about he got this idea from someone else he knew. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I'll put a link to the video in the description though. Is using 3 cosmic compasses. Now these are good for getting out tokens, for fusion summons, and they work. And using the tokens actually works quite well with certain other cards in the deck, and you can use it to fusion summon, help it with the link mechanic, because this is the only deck I have where I have a slight element of a link mechanic in it. I've got 1 link monster, so this is the one deck that I do use if someone says they want to use link rules. This is the deck that I tend to use. Anyway, following on from that, I've got my 2 Cyber Dragon Dries, which are obviously very good cards in themselves, because it can make all the level Cyber Dragons you control become level 5, so it can make core become level 5, itself become level 5, and obviously its name is Cyber Dragon when it's on the field or in the graveyard. Now I also have 2 Cyber Valleys. This card has obviously its own abilities as well, and it's not the most useful card, but it is useful to have it on the field because it can help you draw cards, and it's quite a good defense as well because you can banish cards. And the main purpose of this card in the deck is to help you draw cards and get that card advantage over your opponent. Now I also have Armored Cybern, which obviously one that is a Union monster. It attaches onto Cyber Dragons, gives it a few extra attack points I believe, and I might just protect it, which then allows you to keep it on the field and go into your XZ monsters. We also then have Chronomaly Golden Jet. Now as you can see, I did get a few of these ideas from Yugi No-No in his Cyber Dragon deck, so I would recommend checking those out because he has amazing deck profiles on Cyber Dragons. Mine's more a fusion of my own sort of fun element. I want to have more Cyber Dragons in it, but also his side of it, which is also absolutely amazing. So yes, Chronomaly Golden Jet can increase its level by 1, helping with the rank 5 summoning mechanic in the deck. And I also have 2 Confronting the Seas, which won't help you get out Nova, but it will help you get up other rank 5s you have in the deck, because it can be special summoned whenever your opponent special summons a monster from their extra deck. Anyway, on to the spells. You're obviously going to want to run 3 Cyber Repair Plants, which lets you add machine type monsters from your deck to your hand, which is always very good in this deck. Another card that I like to run are 3 copies of Level Lifter. Now I think this is a very good card. This card allows you to send a card from your hand to the graveyard, so say for example Cyber Dragon or Confronting the Sea, and then up to 2 face-up monsters you control, you can make those levels the same level as that monster. So if I had a hand with Confronting the Sea and I had Cyber Dragon Core and Cosmic Compass on the field, I could then send Confronting the Sea to the graveyard and make Cyber Dragon Core and the Cosmic Compass level 5. So that will help once again with the rank 5 mechanic. I also run 2 copies of Power Bond, because that is a good OTK with Cyber End Dragon and a few others of the Cyber Dragon fusion monsters, and that can be very useful as well. We run 3 copies of Machine Duplication to help get out those Cosmic Compasses, Cyber Dragon Core, Cyber Valley, get more out, and you can use them to tribute, well not really tribute in this deck, but become fusion materials, or XE materials if you're using the likes of Level Lifter. Run 2 Evolution Burst, just to help clear the field if you need it when you have a Cyber Dragon on the field. Help clear any spells, traps, or monsters that might be in your way. I run a copy of XE Reception. This can always be useful. If you've got level 5 on the field, you can bring another to the field and then XE summon, which is good because, as I say, there's quite a strong rank 5 mechanic running throughout this deck. Overload Fusion to help you summon those Chimera Tech monsters. This is good. You can obviously fusion summon dark monsters from the extra deck by banishing fusion monsters. Fusion materials listed from my field or my graveyard. So this is another good one to get out those Chimera Techs. Pot of Desires I play in this deck, which, despite what people say, is not a neg 9. It is a +1, I think. Yeah, because you draw 2 cards, it's a +1. And it's very good. So, it is a very good card because, as I say, the deck isn't a resource. Your hand, your graveyard, your field are resources. So this is a very good card. Not neg 9, +1. Also going to play a copy of Foolish Burial. This will help with Cyber Repair Plant. You can send a Cyber Dragon to the graveyard to activate the effects of Cyber Repair Plant. This is another very good one. The last spell, we're going to play Magical Mallet, because you can sometimes get a bit of a bad hand with this one. So if you get drawn into Magical Mallet, you can refresh your hand and then start anew. Obviously this is a very much go second type of deck. Anyway, now on to the trap cards. We just run a Cyber Network and a Cybernetic Hidden Technology. Not many traps, they don't work too well in the deck. But yeah, that is the main deck, guys. Now it's time to get on to the extra deck. Yeah, so now on to the extra deck, guys, where we're going to start with our 2 Cyber Dragon Novas. Now these are great cards, great ones to start with. You just need the 2 level 5 monsters, and then you can target 1 Cyber Dragon in your graveyard and special summon that target. This card is very good, but for the main reason you use it is to go straight into Infinity, which is mainly the heart of most Cyber Dragon decks these days. To target a card on the field, make it one of his XE materials, and it gains 200 attack points for each XE material attached to it. And using the XE material, it can negate an effect once per turn. Very good card, if used correctly, can win you loads of duels. Now, we also run a Chimera Tech Mega Fleet Dragon, and this is why this is the only link-based deck, because you need a link-based format to work with Chimera Tech Mega Fleet Dragon because of its ability. You need to use a monster in the extra deck zone. We also run 2 Chimera Tech Rampage Dragons, other very good cards, along with Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon, Cyber End Dragon, Cyber Twin Dragon, and 2 Chimera Tech Over Dragons, which I must say are potentially my favourite Cyber Dragon fusion cards. Now these are obviously the fusion cards you'll use. Overload Fusion for the Chimera Techs, Power Bond for these guys, but you can also use Power Bond for these guys obviously. But they are the main fusion mechanics of the deck. But now onto some more rank 5s. We have number 14, Greedy Sarameo. And this one is good because you can basically take any effect damage you would have taken and give it to your opponent instead. And that is very good ability in this deck because this deck is mainly about negating, so it'll be very useful to have that ability. And I also play number 61, Volcasaurus, one of my favourite cards of all time, I must admit. This card is very good because you can obviously detach one XE material from it, target one face-up monster your opponent controls, and then you can destroy that monster. And if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to its attack points. So if your opponent has a big boss monster on the field, say it has a Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, you smash into Volcasaurus, detach one XE material, get rid of that Ultimate Dragon, and then your opponent takes 4,500 points of damage from it. The only downside is Volcasaurus cannot attack directly that turn, but if your opponent has another monster on the field, Volcasaurus can still attack that, which makes it very useful. And lastly, the only link monster in the deck, we have Decode Talker. It's okay because all the monsters in this deck are effect monsters. Gains 500 attacks for each monster it points to, so that's a potential for 1,500 more attack points. And it gives you 2 potential spaces to put 2 more extra deck monsters down. As I say, I'm not too keen on the link mechanic, but I thought because the way Mega Fleet Dragon plays, I'll add a link mechanic into this deck because it's the only deck that I would like to be able to play it in because Mega Fleet needs a link mechanic to work. Other than that, I do tend to try and play it normal, sort of, sorry, Master Rules 2, which is Synchro XD, which in that case I'd take out Decode Talker and Chimera Tech Mega Fleet, maybe add another Over Dragon, Twin Dragon. I'd just add in maybe another Infinity or Nova, would be the general what I'd do there. But once again, guys, I hope you really enjoyed this video. I love doing these deck profile videos, and I love showing off my decks, and hopefully eventually I will be able to show you off some duels with each of these decks, because I really do enjoy playing them. They are really fun to play. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any improvements, let me know down in the comments section, and if not, I'll see you next week, guys.